Pour Out Your Story Publishing presents Hidden Above Her, Part 1 by Kandle Bossfield. Read by Marshawn Francoeur. Suit and Tie. I remember standing in front of John F. Kennedy High School, waiting on Duck to pick me up, and he was late as usual. But at least it was sunny this time. Charlie Brooker, a walking toothpick, ambled toward me, fidgeting with his hands. Weird guy. Back then, he was the only kid I saw with a buff frog tattoo on his twig arm. He always kept one side of this short sleeve rolled up to show it off, too. He stood next to me. 5 awkward seconds flew by before he opened his mouth. "Hey, Sim, do you think Mrs. McCain's boyfriend really had sex with the lunch lady?" he asked. We had most of the same classes for 4 years. He's never spoken to me, and this is what he chose to ask me? And he's calling me Sim like we're close enough for him to shorten my name, like we've been friends our entire lives, I said. I'm 17. I shouldn't be giving advice to a 45-year-old English teacher. I tugged on the strap of my purple backpack. He jerked his head a little, and the red hair fell over his forehead, probably to hide the massive red pimple. He looks at my stomach. "Wow, you're chubbier than I expected," he said. "What?" I took a step back. His eyes shot open, and the crowd of students nearby snickered. Clearly, he confused his thoughts with what came out of his mouth. "I'm sorry, it came out wrong. I mean, I like chunky girls. I mean, freckles are cool too. You're pretty though. I mean, how about I shut up?" He tightened his lips, gawking at the ground in embarrassment. I thought after last year I would not have to deal with this again. I didn't know whether to slap him or punch him, so I pointed my finger in his face. "Listen, you pimple-faced idiot." An engine growled, making us jolt back. An apple-red Mustang growled to a stop behind us. Duck jumped out of the driver's side, grabbed Charlie by the shirt, and threw him against the side of the car. My brother, here to save the day again. But I didn't need his help because I had things under control. "Duck, stop!" I yelled. "If I ever catch you around my sister, I'll cut that gigantic pimple off your forehead." Everyone laughed nearby. "She has a security guard," said one of the guys in the crowd. But somebody enjoyed this scene a little more than everyone else. My brother's friend, Cash, sat on the passenger side with a huge grin on his face. Cash Anderson, voted the sexiest man on campus 3 years in a row on social media. Everyone thought he was on his way to the NFL to play football, but after he graduated, he quit. I blasted him with threatening eyes. He adjusted his prescription glasses and opened the door. "Duck, get off him, man." Cash grabbed Duck by the shirt and arm. "Let's go, Sim. Dude, come on," Duck demanded. I climbed in the back seat and watched Charlie try to wipe off the tire dirt from his khaki shorts. It took me 3 times before I could get the seatbelt over my stomach, and then I violently crossed my arms. Thanks to guys like Charlie, I had to fight even harder to convince my brother that I could defend myself. It was always that one guy who referred to my weight in a negative manner. I loved my body, so I never really got the idea of it all. Did they want a snack-sized dick medal? Or maybe the goal was to make me feel bad about being myself. "Duck, why would you embarrass me like that?" I yelled. "Dude, your finger was in his face. I thought he was trying to pick on you. He could have been a murderer or a sex lord in training. Do you think I'm going to let some guy pick on my baby sister? Ronnie, you don't fucking get it." He slams the side of his fist on the dashboard. "Calm down, man," said Cash. "Ronnie? Who is Ronnie?" I asked. "That's not what I meant to say." My brother had a way of making me feel defenseless, belittled, and disrespected. And now he's so mad that he's calling me somebody else? Ronnie? Who is that? Sex lord? Duck, I could have handled him myself. I'm not a freaking baby anymore. And why would you think he was picking on me? "Well, it's my job to protect you, even though you don't think you need protection." "Was he picking on you?" he asked. I rolled my furious eyes when he gazed back at me. "That's what I thought," he said with validation. I twisted my knees to the side and stared out the window. Doug pushed in a CD and pulled over into the Bel Air parking lot. "I be on my suit and tie shit, played loudly through the speakers. Not fair. I loved Justin Timberlake, and he knew it. Doug sang the first verse, staring at me and pretending to be Justin Timberlake. Cash rocked side to side. He playfully lifted his eyebrows with emotion as they both exaggerated, singing the verse as if they performed in a concert. So I look out the window so they don't get the satisfaction of my attention. I don't know what it was, but I couldn't stop my head from moving to the music, and my finger had a mind of its own, tapping on the thigh of my blue skirt. 60 seconds passed before the music possessed my body and I exaggerated singing with them. Who could resist Justin Timberlake? I guess this was Duck's way of apologizing, and it clearly worked. He backed out of the parking spot and headed home. Cash's eyes caught mine in the passenger side mirror. We were unapologetically in love, and my brother had no idea. That night, Cash snuck in my room. I lifted my Snoopy cover, and he laid down next to me. You know, if my brother or dad caught you in here, they'd leave your body on the grass across the street for your mom to find, I said, blinking in the dark. Your brother is in his bedroom snoring, with his mouth open, and the PlayStation controller is still in his hand. But if I die loving you, I'll be all right. I got you something, he said anxiously. You did? What did you get me? He snuck his hand behind his back. He turned the light on from his phone and shone it on something. It was a white stuffed animal, a dog with a pink dress and bow on the top of her head. Snoopy's sister Belle. I love it, Cash, I muttered. I love you, Symphony Dunmore. Shit, you looked so beautiful today in that skirt. Cash made me feel like the prettiest girl on the planet, and he hated when I wore extra big t-shirts and oversized jeans to cover my meaty legs. He loved every part of me. He was the first guy to make me feel that way. I love you more, Cash Anderson. What are we going to do? You saw what my brother did to that guy today, and I barely knew him, I said. Sim, I'm going to tell your brother about us tomorrow. I'm going to tell him I love you, he said with eagerness in his deep tone. You promise? I promise. He reached in and pressed his cushioned lips on mine, then pushed back to see my reaction. I've never kissed a guy before. Well, not with tongue, I whispered. He leaned over me and entered his mango-smooth tongue in my mouth and inhaled all of me with his minty-flavored kisses. My insides pulsated, and his heated energy absorbed my spirit. His hand slid between my thighs, then stopped. Why'd you stop? I asked. Are you ready? Cash, I want you to be my first. Are you sure? I don't want to pressure you, he said. I rubbed my hand on his chest. I'm 17 now. I've thought this through for 6 months now. Is something wrong? Yeah, I'm 19. I could go to jail, I think. Cash, I want to. I slowly moved his hand up my thigh. He gently tugged on my underwear, and then the security light from across the street shone through the window, blinding us for a second. Shoot, I forgot to close the curtains. Must have been the cat next door, I said as we snickered. The whites in his panicking eyes grew when the toilet flushed from down the hall. Oh my God, get out of here before my father kills you. You won't be able to tell Duck tomorrow if you're dead, I whispered. I didn't hear any gunshots when he snuck out, so I assumed he made it back to Duck's room down the hall. The next morning, I saw Duck sitting on the couch watching television. I could see my mom and dad through the sliding door window, talking by the barbecue pit in the backyard. Duck looked a little too happy watching football. Clearly, Cash hadn't told him yet. Hey, Duck. Oh, did Cash go home already? What's up, dude? Yeah. His uncle popped up and offered to let him stay with him in New York until he got his music producing career going. Yeah, right, Duck. I laughed. I opened the front door and stood on the porch. Cash was sticking his luggage in the back of a black Toyota. My heart fell on an invisible sword. He saw me and hesitantly waved. His lips formed the words, I'm sorry. I've hated those 2 words ever since.